Student Fuel's radio show. Yeah, what's going on, Wisdom? How are we? And welcome back. It's great for me to hop on here now and start this show for everyone. I know that, you know, there is so many thoughts that go on within our heads every day. And I think that, the way I see it is, if we learn to see thoughts as thoughts, just let those negative thoughts go, I think that's what will be better. I think, there is a lot of issues out there to play where you gotta look at it like this. You know, I feel that we have to, you know, learn about what you want to do for the rest of this time as we're living here right now. And I think that, for me, it's just become one step closer to where I was going to end up in the future. It's just by getting out there, knowing that, any time of the day, your life can turn around so quick, I guess. I've noticed that, for my time here, it's been, an interesting place for me on, this planet since the COVID-19 pandemic hit 3 years ago, in 2020. I want to know if anyone's listening can relate to this in how you can keep your negative thoughts out of your head in order for you to have the best life that you can. Since COVID did hit, but it's like for me, I just want to forget about the past. I guess this is history that will be written in a textbook in years to come. and years down the track, you know, I think to myself, well, it was just a learning experience for me, if you get my point. I think that, trying to, we get so many thoughts going around in our heads every day, in our minds every day. And it's quite crazy because you think that, you know, there's so many different thoughts going on in your head, in the human brain. Uh, for me, being very creative, is a thing for me, is to stay as creative as I can, to try and take my mind off stuff that's going on out there. And the way I view it as well is it has to, you have to find out what your why is on this earth right now. But like I said, thoughts are thoughts. Uh, you know, I've noticed that if I can just let negative thoughts and negative opinions go, that's the best that you can do as well. It's just letting negative thoughts and opinions go, I think. It's one of the skills that just takes practice in mental health as well. And to be able to, appreciate that, that you have the power in your mind to take control of your life to the best of your abilities. You know that. And I guess it's all a freedom of choice as well. We have the choice to see those negative thoughts and just let them go, or we can either dwell on negative thoughts, we can dwell on what negative people have told us, uh, and put us down. But you know what? That's what that's that's what is taught in the school system these days. It's just a bunch of bullshit, to be honest with you. You know, and I think that, uh, if you can start to listen to positive, uplifting audio programs as well, any spiritual practices or spiritual teachings that you may like, that would definitely help you as well. And the reason is Because for us as humans, we have to, make tough decisions and tough choices in the world. And it's those tough choices that, can basically just determine your future at the end of the day. It's, we need to, you know, know that, what it is that you are seeking on your path to your willpower, power, and, manifestation at the same time. Have we gotten to a point as society where we can take our power back and go and learn from those mistakes that we made in the past? You know, J.K. Rowling, who published the Harry Potter books, is being threatened with cancel culture because J.K. Rowling disagrees with transgender rights in sport. A male who is dressing up as a woman wants to be playing in the female league. Now, J.K. Rowling was on welfare, okay, before she became famous with Harry Potter. I think the first Harry Potter book was published in the 90s. It was. That's when her fame took off and her career was a success. But now the networks and the media are trying to cancel her and silence her because she disagrees with LGBTQ rights and transgender in sport. I'm talking as in, uh, um, a woman who is saying, I'm a man, going to play in the men's sport, but yet I have the genetics of a woman and I will call myself a man, and it can be vice versa. A man who is saying that he is a woman, and and to me that just does not make sense for starters. Number two, it's just very unfair that that is going to happen. Now, good on J.K. Rowling for standing up what she believed in. And J.K. Rowling is entitled to share her thoughts on these social issues and political issues. Because the Harry Potter books were a worldwide success, and yet Hollywood is trying to stir up trouble and being canceling people in the media and entertainment industry, and that's what's going on. Now, it brings my topic of social media these days as well, where our generation of kids, teenagers, my generation, have grown up in too much technology. Like you go back 50 years ago, if you wanted to find out the scores in the NRL, you either had to wait till the 6 o'clock news or was on, or you had to get the newspaper 24 hours later to find out. Now, it's crazy. It's like I can flick my iPhone and literally just keep up to date with the scores and watch the highlights. Bulldogs played well this week. They beat the Storms, and it was great tactics. If they can keep playing that style of rugby league, they've got a potential chance of making it, and going for the premiership. And they keep playing that football. They've got potential this year to win the grand final, and we're only in round two. Play that style of football the Bulldogs have done, and they beat Melbourne Storm, and Melbourne are a very hard team to beat. Very, very hard, and they're one of the best teams in the NRL. Always have made the semi-finals, even if they didn't get to the grand final, have come close, played in grand finals. They're one of the best teams out there, and good on for the Canterbury Bulldogs for beating them. Now, last week the Storms played against Penrith and managed to win, a very late win, and so much defence Melbourne had to do was crazy, and they managed to pull off the win, and good on them. And watched the Knights versus West Tigers today. So many players, from Newcastle Knights, getting injured. This MIA rule, I don't know. It's you see, rugby league and contact sport has gotten so fast over the years. And I've noticed the league in the NRL is sending players to the sin bin quite frequently. Never used to do that. They only sent them off to the sin bin if it was serious. But now the rules change from higher up. I think it's gotten too strict. I think that it's just getting frustrating, just slowing the game down a bit. I mean, look, this is a high level sport, okay, for all the concussion protocols out there, which is great to have. But for a player just getting a little minor knock to the head and getting called by the independent doctor to go get them assessed, taking them off for 15 minutes during the half, then having to go all that trouble to get back on. It's just frustrating because players are under pressure these days, like Newcastle Knights. That was a war, that game today. As I'm talking to everyone, I think that sport as well needs to be handled properly.
Are you talking about
Hello,
soccer?
rugby.
Rugby. Okay, I was trying to figure out what you were talking about because I just came in. How you
Uh,
doing, Shells?
yes, good, Charlie. How are you?
I'm doing good. Keeping the negative out your life. You know what I mean? It's all about this trying to find your hobbies, what you love.
Exactly. I was just talking about sport as well, and we need sport to be entertained, and yeah, keeping entertained with sport as well.
I feel the same. Like I just watched the All Star Weekend a couple weeks ago with the basketball, and I
Hmm.
wasn't entertained because the whole time there was no defense. They were just dunking and stuff. It didn't feel like they
Mm,
were. I was not entertained. So I don't even watch sports like I used to because it feels like they're just playing to play. They're not entertaining people.
mm. That's weird that NBA is. Do you think the NBA is getting a bit boring now, or is it just repetitive?
It's getting to be like, remember NBA Jam on like video games? It's getting to be like that. Like people are just dunking nonstop. There's no like fundamentals no more to the game. It's just like dunking. There's no defense really. Like you get one slap on the hand, that's a foul right away. It's like like everything is
Mm,
baby. You know what I mean? Like I come from watching it in the '90s and '80s when Shaq was getting hack a Shaq. You know what I mean? Where
mm, mm,
you had a foul person. A foul had to look like a foul. It wasn't just a touch. Um,
mm,
but that's why I like work. One sport I do like watching when it does come on is rugby, but I
mhm.
haven't watched it since around 2011 or so.
Which one, the league or the union?
I just was
Uh,
watching anything my buddy would put on it because he used to play
yeah,
rugby. So any rugby
yeah,
game, I would just watch it because and I'm like, yo, this is a little bit more entertaining than football. This is hard.
oh,
No gear on or nothing. I'm like, wow. The injuries in it, though, that sport got a lot of injuries in it.
I know. The change of the rules again because of the concussion problem and CTE
Oh,
that they're taking players off to get looked at by a doctor for a little minor knock to the head for 15 minutes, then they have to come on. I mean, before they brought in these rules, I'm sure you could. It was like that in football. You had to have a really hard knock to the head, and
yeah,
then they
that's
took you off.
yeah. Football and NFL. Let's say rugby
Yeah,
and NFL. Right. There's a lot
yeah,
of concussions in them sports. I don't know about hockey. I would say hockey back in the day because there was a lot of ramming to the boards. Right.
mm,
But
mm,
them three sports, I would say there's a lot of like injuries and concussions that a lot of people don't talk about, and that it feels like they're not for the safety of their athletes. They're all about
mm,
just the buck. Can they get the buck? You know what I mean?
mm.
And if they can get the buck, okay, that athlete is hurt. There's another one out there somewhere in a high school that has better skills, so they'll go and offer them a contract, and that person is shelved.
Yeah, the worst is the NFL. It's one of the most cutthroat sports in the world. Oh my God. I mean, these contracts are not guaranteed, and like they can just cut any of these players anytime they want. But yeah, I don't know where sports going these days.
And for the college sport guys, like they're in football and
Mm,
stuff, if they just get injured, they get written off. They don't even get no kind of benefits or nothing,
mm,
for playing college football. If they get injured, they just finish school and graduate and become whatever their degree they get. They don't got the
mm,
football in their life, and they don't even get paid or anything for that, or for the injury and what it's that's how they do in college sports, and they're fighting for rights, but I don't know.
mm. Yeah, the I know the NHL's got the same problem, the concussion problem too. I mean, this is a high level sport. If they're gonna try and get too soft and say, oh, you can't hit a minor knock to the head, well, what's going to happen to the
This is
league?
what I'm going to say. Boxing has less concussions in it than any other sport, than like
Yeah.
football or something. I would say, like you never see these fighters. Oh, they take 3 months off to get all better, but if they didn't get hit in the match, they train and they have another fight the next week. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Um, and that's what I'm saying. Like, they need to find that safety that's in the other sports, that like rugby.
mm,
Definitely, they need to try to find where they can have that safety at. You know,
mm,
like yeah, the boxers later on they do have brain problems when they get older, but they don't. You know, what I mean, the concussions is less than say football or whatever in
mm,
boxing. So I would say the safety in there, yeah, it's there, but let's try to find the safety in these other sports that nobody want are looking for, like for the athletes. Because if the athletes get your favorite athlete, let's just say in rugby,
mm,
Wayne Gretzky played rugby. I'm just saying a
mm,
player I know, right? But he played
mm,
rugby instead of hockey. He get injured. What happens?
mm.
I ain't watching that team no more because my favorite player is injured. You just pay
Yeah,
$50 million for this player that is injured, and now, boom.
cost the team money. I mean, yeah. Look, NFL. I've watched it a bit. Watched a bit of the Arizona Cardinals, which they're my favorite team. But it's just so much advertising in the NFL, and it's just like
It's
it's not all about
commercialized
the
now.
football.
They're saying that it's scripted. They're saying that the wins are meant to be. I don't know if that's all rumors. I don't get that deep into the politics of it, but I'm
Mm,
like you. I'm trying to get the entertain value of it, like the
mm,
'90s, from the '90s and the early '80s and stuff, and I want the entertainment value back. Like
mm,
when you watch the halftime show at NFL, like Michael Jackson's and the Prince and stuff that do the halftime shows, they were bombed. These halftime shows now are like so weak. They're not. They
mm,
don't got that power where it's in your mind to be like, oh, I want to go watch the Michael Jackson one. I want to go watch the Prince. I want to go watch Janet Jackson. Everybody still knows the Janet Jackson one, but can
mm.
you tell me any of these performances from 2010 to now? Remember one right off your bat. I can't.
Yeah, I mean,
Except
there's
for the Dr. Dre and Snoop that just only
there's
happened last year, but that's the only one I can remember.
yeah, there was Eminem. Plus, there's the XFL. That's the minor league to
That's the new one
NFL.
that came over, right? That
Yeah,
Rockbot. Yeah, Rockbot, the
yeah.
company, I think of that.
Well, we'll have to wait and see how sport goes, but I just hope it doesn't get to the point where it's too soft. Oh, we got to take a player off because you got a slap in the head sort of thing. I'd hope
This
not.
So I don't get. This is a trick that I learned, a little hack. If you got people up
Hmm.
here and your time run out before the times run out, like the last 50 seconds, tell your friend, the person you have the co-host with, to bow out so they don't get trapped in the matrix, and then they can come up and you won't have no
Yeah,
glitches in your podcast. Okay, big guy. But thank you for
all
having me
good.
up. If nobody's in your
You
queue,
too.
I'll probably pop up again and talk about whatever. But yeah, they need more safety in these sports. You know what I mean? Really, really a lot more safety. And I agree with you. And yeah, everybody keep them negative thoughts out your head and stay positive and reach for your goals. One love.
Exactly. Cheers.
Cheers to you, where everybody knows our name.
All right. No, that's awesome to have a guest on the show. Really, thanks. Yeah, guys, feel free to dial in wherever you're calling from and share your thoughts on today's show. The Stephen Shields Radio Show is a great talk show about society and culture, and it's all about getting rid of negativity out of your life at the same time. All right. The weather report right now is 20 degrees Celsius. Feels like 17 degrees. It's going to be a top of 24 degrees Celsius tomorrow. 1 to 10 millimeters of rain with showers predicted. Tomorrow, sunny with showers predicted, a low of 17 degrees Celsius, top of 24 degrees Celsius. Tuesday, sunny with showers predicted, a low of 16 degrees Celsius, top of 27 degrees Celsius. Wednesday, sunny, partly cloudy, low of 15 degrees Celsius, top of 32 degrees Celsius. Thursday, sunny, low of 16 degrees Celsius, top of 37 degrees Celsius. Friday, sunny with sunny, partly cloudy, low of 16 degrees Celsius, top of 35 degrees Celsius. Saturday, sunny, partly cloudy, low of 16 degrees Celsius, top of 34 degrees Celsius. Sunday, sunny, partly cloudy, low of 16 degrees Celsius, and a top of 34 degrees Celsius. But yeah, I guess going back to rugby league and rugby union. I was watching the game today with the Newcastle Knights and the West Tigers play. Now, I forget the player's name. It was at the start of the kickoff, bang, he got hit in the head, and already his game, he was done. His game was done. They were like, no, we ain't bringing you back on for the afternoon. So the rugby league's got the 18th man now, and the 18th man was pretty much going to be activated. I mean, are the referees just getting too strict and putting players on report for the sake of putting players on report for what? For what? I mean, if you had to watch the game about 6 years ago, they'd always put players on report, but not for little minor bumps or an accident. The game's definitely gotten fast. It's actually gotten more faster than it was. But I just think when you want to stop starting the game all the time. And you're trying to make it too safe than what it is. Look, the rugby league, football, NFL, NHL, these are dangerous sports and these are the risks you take. But if you're going to try and get it too soft, then what's the point of being entertained with contact sport than what it was meant to do? Baseball too, cricket is a dangerous sport. There's concussion problems in that. But I just think that if the league is gonna get too soft and get all political about getting hit, look, players are gonna get hit to the head whether we like it or not. All right, it's gonna happen. You just have to get over it. I like boxing. I watch my boxing too. Boxers, MMA fighters get so many hits to the head, but it's not like a constant basis in MMA. They might not fight for another 6 months or a year, even in boxing. Uh, you know, Before they, brought in these concussion protocols in football, I mean, there's ex-NFL players having to sue the league for compensation, even NHL, because they got hit to the head too much. Uh, I don't know if the league knew about it or not, but before, CTE has always been around. God, even before they had the concussion protocols. So what's going to happen now? Is the NRL, is the NHL, well, not the NHL is quite a brutal sport. Is the NRL going to become like a sarcastable, like South Park predicted sarcastable. The Washington Redskins changed their names because they were fearing that they were being racist and they were starting to get all PC culture in the NFL. How come? It was the Washington Redskins for years before I was born. Uh, I just don't understand. I mean, there was some players in the NRL this week who copped some racist remarks from some stupid fans out there, which is unacceptable, and that's not on. That should not be tolerated in the league. For me, you just want to go and watch the football and just watch these guys and the women really just entertain us all. There was a song called Let the Bodies Hit the Floor, and let the bodies hit the floor is what it's all about. You know what I mean? In the old days, you know, that when the old days were around in contact sport, right, and they got concussion, they got concussed, it was like, you know, they were under so much pressure to get up and perform the next day as well. And I think, look, let's talk about spirituality here as I share my thoughts and reflections with everyone at the moment. This is why having a spiritual practice, you can't rely on playing contact sport. You cannot rely on playing football to be your income for the rest of your life because you can't. You're not going to do this forever. Some of these young blokes out there, young men, I was like that too. I thought I was all glamorous if you could be in the NFL. These guys, especially at NFL, are lucky to make it to to 5 years. I don't know. Tom Brady, for instance, I thought he was a bit of a pussy. He wouldn't run straight. He was a glory hogger. All right. He's not the most talented quarterback out there. There was far better quarterbacks than Tom Brady. He got protection from players. That's why he lasted so long in the NFL. Got paid, I don't know how many millions a year just to throw a ball, and that's it. That's Tom Brady for you. Boring. But that's professional sport, and that's why sport these days. I don't know. It's definitely, especially NFL, is just business. That's all it is. But I am noticing too in the National Rugby League, it is business, but it's not as business as football. And yeah, so many players are getting hurt. Like every single game you turn on your television, players always getting hurt. There was one today. There was a few today who had to get walked off the field because they got hit really hard, like hard hit. Like that's how rugby is played. It's rugby league is played hard. You hit them hard. You let the bodies hit the floor. You know, but it's great to have entertainment. But life you know, it's important to clear negative thoughts and negative energy from your subconscious mind as well. While I'm talking to the wide world broadcasting, I've definitely, when you do your research as well into how the paradigms of the universe happen, it's one of those things where you got to find out, well, if these negative thoughts are going to try and stop me from achieving my dreams and goals that I set out to achieve, I can reverse them. And when you reverse these negative thoughts, you know, it's so much better because society has programmed us since we were kids to have poverty consciousness thinking. And our school system has programmed us with poverty consciousness thinking, poor people thinking. Uh, that we have to go to school, get good grades to get a what good job, as Robert Kiyosaki will tell you. Uh, you know, and this is the problem too in our professional sports league, where there is no financial education for our players who are going to retire. It's cricket, baseball as well. They go, I don't know, it's crazy. They get so much money, but yet when they retire, they go bankrupt. And I don't get that. I really don't get that at all. You know that. So, guys, wonderful episode today as well on the Stephen Shields radio show. Please like, share, subscribe to the podcast, turn on your notifications whenever you get new episodes. New episodes are available every Friday at 6 p.m. Sydney, Australia time. Bye for now.